Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome on board our journey through the pages of another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. Today we look at heart-related illnesses and what you can do to protect your health. Plus, young people learning to avoid substance abuse and misuse. Also, we shine the spotlight on sports development, so stay with us.
Don't make diseases spread. Wash your hands with soap and water instead. Wash them regular or use a hand sanitizer. Make sure the germs them dead. Touching your eyes or your mouth or your nose. Wash your hands before you do things like those. After you use the bathroom before preparing food, come on, wash your hand them clean. Cause it's so easy for germs multiply. You better wash your hands, it can save your own life. Wash your hand them clean, nobody spread no disease now. Hand washing is key.
A message from the Ministry of Health and PAHO.
It is important that we know the signs and symptoms for potentially fatal illnesses and be able to take actions that can prevent the unfortunate. In our HealthWise segment of the magazine today, let's look at how to detect and avoid fatalities from a sudden cardiac arrest.
You're up and about going through your routine activities. Suddenly, you collapse without warning. Your heart stops beating, and within seconds, you stop breathing. A quick check shows there's no pulse. All signs of sudden cardiac arrest. Sudden cardiac arrest, SCA, is a condition in which the heart unexpectedly stops beating. When this happens, blood stops flowing to the brain and other vital organs. The person may die if not treated within minutes.
So the way you decide if they're having sudden cardiac arrest is, in addition to seeing if they're conscious, calling to them and seeing if there's any response, you need to feel for a pulse. So you'd feel at the neck, at the angle of the jaw, or you could listen for the heartbeat by putting your ear to the patient's chest. You need to see if they're breathing. So if they're not breathing, they have no pulse, then they're in cardiac arrest.
SCA is not to be confused with a heart attack, which happens when blood flow to the heart is blocked. However, a heart attack can lead to sudden cardiac arrest. Another way to look at it is, a heart attack is a circulation problem, while sudden cardiac arrest is an electrical one. The immediate cause of most SCAs is an abnormal heart rhythm as the electrical activities of the heart becomes chaotic and the heart is unable to pump blood to the rest of the body.
We're all at risk for sudden cardiac death, so we need to know our numbers and our status. What is your blood pressure? Do you know what your blood pressure is? Do you know what your cholesterol is? So we might be a walking time bomb and we don't know. It's not just people who appear healthy who are at risk. Somebody can be overweight and you say, oh, they're bound to drop down, but somebody who is slim can drop down as well. It just depends what the other risk factors are. So I just think the only way we can know is to know your numbers, know your status.
Among the conditions that trigger sudden cardiac arrest is coronary artery disease, a more common cause in persons over 35 years old. Also, cardiomyopathy, in which the heart muscle becomes enlarged or thick and weak, as well as inherited disorders that may cause parts of the heart to stretch and become weak. Other conditions include disorders of the heart's electrical system, as well as heart defects that were exhibited at birth. Persons who have a family history of sudden cardiac arrest or heart disease are also at risk. In contrast to elderly persons, cases of SCA is not prevalent in children.
But the children can be born with some types of heart disease that make them have a higher risk for sudden cardiac arrest. That is usually picked up if they have, sometimes at birth, because of the abnormalities. But even if they're corrected, they can still have an increased risk of sudden cardiac arrest.
Highlighted cases of SCA in student athletes in recent years prompted increased focus on evaluation for the physically active.
I would like to encourage all parents, if you have a child who is involved in any team sport, any physical activity, or even a lot of physical activity, even if they're not on a team, to please have your child checked. Carry them for sudden cardiac arrest screening. We have it at the Heart Foundation. We can come island-wide, or go to your GP and have your child tested.
A victim of sudden cardiac arrest can survive with the quick action of a bystander who is able to apply immediately cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR.
You will start resuscitative efforts, which would include compressing the chest in order to get the heart going. You may or may not breathe for them. Nowadays, it is not, a lot of bystanders balk at starting CPR because they don't want to put their mouth on the patient's mouth. And I mean, that's a real concern. Studies were done a couple years ago and they determined that compression only CPR, so just pressing on the chest alone, is of value.
If available, an automated external defibrillator (AED) can be used within a few minutes to restore a normal rhythm to the heart. These may be available at certain places such as airports, stadiums, and other public and business places.
If someone has developed chest pain, they've grabbed their chest, they've sank down on the ground because they're having chest pain or they're not breathing properly, you don't start CPR for that. They need to get to medical attention immediately. But you would only start CPR if the patient is pulseless and not breathing.
Following that bit of first intervention, which must take place within the first 4 to 5 minutes of sudden cardiac arrest, the patient will need to be moved immediately to a hospital. The Ministry of Health since 1996 has been partnering with the Ministry of Local Government through the Jamaica Fire Brigade to expand its provision of pre-hospital service.
We recognize that transportation of patients to hospital is a vital part of the chain of survival. Certainly from the patient suffers an incident to the point at which they reach hospital and get care. The transportation to hospital is important, and not only in terms of the time that it takes, but also in terms of the support that is provided during that transport.
You're supposed to have a defibrillator on the ambulance. You're supposed to have basic drugs which a trained paramedic would be able to administer to continue advanced cardiac life support. And when they get to the hospital, which would have been alerted from the ambulance that we're bringing in a cardiac arrest victim, the team would be waiting at the door of the hospital to receive this patient.
Based on the value of CPR in saving a life, the Ministry of Health has been partnering with the Heart Foundation of Jamaica to encourage more Jamaicans to get trained in CPR. And this important life skill is everybody's business, so get trained and be ready to lend a hand when the need arises.
Substance abuse and misuse can pose a problem for young people who oftentimes don't recognize its silent, creeping dangers to their health and well-being. The Citizen Security and Justice Program is helping young people avoid substance misuse and abuse through positive social interventions, as well as academic and vocational skills training. Find out more in this next feature.
It's a good program so far, because it helps out us a lot. Because every day we sit on the corner, now do nothing, you know. And CSJP come in now and give you a chance to do skills and get a certificate and then things there, you know. They help you out with smoking, counseling and then things there, you know. Because we used to smoke a lot of weed and the program helped me and cut me down. I left from 10 and now I reach 2 and 1 for a week. See it? So, program help out all heap.
It has been a wonderful help. With the program, you know you can further your studies, worse if you couldn't afford to, and it helps you to be a better person for tomorrow.
The Citizen Security and Justice Program CSJP3, through its Psychological Services Unit, CSJP provides persons ages 17 to 30 the benefit of a specialized substance misuse treatment program offered in partnership with the National Council on Drug Abuse, NCDA.
We are working with the clients, the families, the institution that they go to, be it remedial education classes or vocational skill training. Very few of the clients will admit that they have a problem. We refer them to our social worker who will do a detailed analysis on the client using the drug assessment screener. And then, based on the results of that, he will do referral now to the NCDA for treatment.
Individuals, community groups, or institutions within communities where CSJP operates can also refer youths who live in these communities. The Specialized Substance Misuse Treatment Program helps youngsters who participate understand the effects drug misuse have on their health and their productivity at work or school.
The persons that we interact with are mainly misusing marijuana and alcohol. And as we know, marijuana, it's described as a psychoactive drug. So it mainly affects your brain, your mind, and how your brain develops. So how it will affect these clients is that it impairs their memory, it affects how they make decisions, solve problems, where it's hard for you to remember things. You're in class, it's hard for you to focus on a particular topic. And at work now, it also affects your motor coordination and balance. In terms of alcohol use now, it basically lowers your inhibitions. So you're not really thinking about how your actions may affect something. So you're basically not going to work as focused.
Now, I kind of stop smoke from Saga drugs counseling. I catch on, stop smoke, and I see difference. And when I smoke weed, it play like trick on my mind. Like somebody that can harm me, somebody that can do me something dangerous. I just feel timid and scared when I smoke like too much weed.
Various individual and group counseling sessions helped the participants hone valuable life skills focused beyond drug misuse and relapse prevention. The program also teaches coping skills like conflict resolution and stress management.
You have anger management class, you have drug abuse class, and they would tell you how to help to cut down on the drinking automatically until you can just get rid of it.
All the things they teach, most of all, like naive hours, we try to reach a ball game and them things.
Well, other activity, I must stay home and do my homework, read a local book.
Treatment program of the CSJP also takes into consideration the client's support system, the family and triggers that are identified that would cause them to relapse into any of the dangerous practices. Appropriate strategies are then explored with the client to deal with and manage these, whether they be environmental, social, or emotional triggers such as stressful situations and conflict.
Ideally, what we'd like is for their family, their friends, their colleagues to be what we call accountability partners. So persons who are aware of the problems that they have and that can keep them accountable to staying on course and not relapsing, not going back to using the substance. So persons who will check in on their progress, ensure that they're not smoking, be encouragers for them. But what we don't want them to be doing is to also be using the substance, because then they'll be influencing them to use also.
And as they go through the specialized substance misuse treatment program, clients are better prepared to benefit from educational, vocational, job training and internship opportunities provided through the Citizen Security and Justice program.
Would I like to be one of these well professionally? My friend will encourage me all through them, say it is a good thing. And love is what I do.
Youth who participate in the program also develop a greater sense of self and well-being as they reduce or stop using drugs and begin to feel more confident in themselves to do well, achieving certain goals through their own talents and abilities.
Because they remember they're back in school now, enough things when they drop off from the go all age school, I catch on. Now I like do a city and guilds. Never know I could have come up to the exam there.
Family members of beneficiaries recognize the changes in their loved ones and are encouraged to see the improvements in their siblings or relative.
I feel good to know that he is not walking up and down like our youth who like go up and down. And kind of more keep steady and more to talk about the school.
When we finish with the client's supposed to have education, the client's supposed to have experience. The client will have skills, the client will know how to make better decisions.
The Citizen Security and Justice Program CSJP, a multifaceted crime and violence prevention initiative of the Ministry of National Security, transforming lives through social intervention.
Jamaica's long-standing partnership with China has grown to include technical cooperation for sports development. We were in China looking at the progress of Jamaican athletes and coaches benefiting from this cooperation. And here they are showing off their training drills and providing feedback on their experience in the Asian country.
The Jamaica-China Technical Cooperation Program is the largest bilateral sports agreement between the two countries. For each year of the 3-year China-funded program, 138 Jamaican athletes, managers, and coaches from 7 sporting disciplines traveled to China for 2 months of intensive training.
So we have 3 teams in Yunnan province. That's in Kunming. Those are swimming, female basketball and female volleyball. In Yunnan province, we have synchronized swimming, gymnastics, badminton and female football.
One of the first stops that we made in China was to the Kunming Physical Training School, where we observed the volleyball, basketball and swimming teams in training.
They train twice per day, starting at, the day actually starts at 6 when they have breakfast. We arrive at the center by 8:30, where we do a 30-minute warm-up. They hit the pool by 9 o'clock. Training is normally completed by 11 once the sets are completed, and then we return to the hotel. They have lunch. There's a 1.5 hour nap time, and then we come back in the afternoon at 2:30, another half an hour session of warm-up, and then we go again at 3 until 5.
They take the training very serious, and we also see they have the many improvements during all the training. But for one thing, that's the coach very appreciates that they follow coach instruction, and they try their best to get more improvement.
As you may know, China is ranked amongst the top 5. They have one of the top 5 best volleyball teams in the world. So coming here to train, we're training amongst the greats.
While here, we do a lot of repetition, and it really helps us getting better performance-wise. Where we're weak in terms of our strength, the gym work really helps, and when we go on court, it shows. So we're able to hit the bar harder, able to jump higher, just perform better.
They're really positive and they are serious with this training and they like to learn.
The coach, he uses gestures while he speaks to us. So as volleyballers, we understand those gestures, and those who came last year will understand a little of the Chinese, like counting from 1 to 4, we understand that, and other little things.
Shababa means it's a very delicious food from where he comes from, the Yunnan province. And he said that after people eat it, they get very energized. And so we say it because we want to get energized on court so that we can perform our best. We usually say it before, like when we're cheering before our match or when we win a point.
The basketball team was only a few meters away from the volleyball players. The team's training site, Kunming Physical Training School, is a high-altitude training base that pushes the cardiovascular and circulatory systems of athletes to optimal levels.
Breathing, like it's really hard here because of the altitude difference. So the higher we go, less oxygen there is or air. So when we go on track or even in here indoors when we're running, it's really hard to catch our breath or to even breathe normally. Some people, we have I think 4 athletes that have asthma, so it's extra hard for them, but they manage. In 2 weeks or 3 weeks, everyone adjusts and we're okay.
And on Monday, we do a little bit of skill training and core exercise after the skill training. The core exercise is abs basically to improve your strength, jumping, running, all of those assets. The biggest improvement is the fitness level and the skills. Dribbling the ball, floor spacing, setting pick, setting off the ball screen, and just learning to play as a team.
And there are even more benefits to be derived from the athletes' daily encounter with their Chinese coaches.
They're very disciplined. They teach us life skills about respecting time, all of those things. They're very disciplined, and it's good training, life skills for us.
Wait until you hear about the other athletes we're visiting in the city of Changsha.
Being here has really been an amazing opportunity. Working with the Chinese coaches, they've really been helping us learn new techniques, and it's been really new. Some of their techniques are different, but I realized that they really do help the girls improve.
The girls that I have here is from age 6 to 13. Elisa is my youngest. Her name is Elisa Alexander Black. She came up here, she's very strong, but she gets in stronger. So if you put her into a press and stand, she can stay up into a press and stand as long as for 1 minute and go back down, but she's very strong for her age.
Like Elisa, another gymnast that has grown in strength and performance is young Shakoy Bennett, the only male gymnast on the team this year.
I've gotten some skills, some high-level skills that I would need to be able to put in a routine to be able to compete. So Yeah, that's, I would say, is one of the biggest achievements I have so far. My objective is to go to the Olympics, possibly the Olympics and the World Champs, possibly medaling.
But training wasn't the only activity on the gymnast's daily agenda. The team also showcased the dynamic dance routines they have been learning. Their performance was well received.
So there's only one more team to visit, and this team happens to be the largest group in the delegation. Can you guess what that is? Badminton.
Our delegation consisted of 28 persons, of which 23 junior players, 1 player coach, a liaison officer, and myself, the team manager.
Well, last year we mainly focused on the physical aspect on our body, and this year we mainly focused on the technical aspect and the tactical, which meaning that we focus mostly on the fingers, the arm actions. And in Jamaica we play European style of badminton, while here we play Asian style of badminton.
Biggest thing that surprised me was probably their playing style. When I was in Jamaica, we're taught to use the wrist more, and then now we're taught to use the fingers to play. And it has really helped in my game, play much easier and more comfortable now.
It would be remiss of me not to extend on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, and especially on behalf of my minister, the Honorable Olivia Grange, the appreciation or gratitude to the government and people of the People's Republic of China for this wonderful program.
The License Center of Excellence caters to students post-primary 13 years and up who have been assessed and who have been diagnosed to be on the intellectually disabled spectrum. That means they're either mild to moderate. The Digital Foundation was kind enough to give us this wonderful school so St. Thomas can cater more to these children who need special attention. This institution opened its doors September 2017. We have a wonderful team here. We have teachers who love children. We have an administrative and an ancillary staff who loves children. Most naturally, the campus coordinator loves children. So we are here catering to the needs of these children because we believe in adding value. These children have a lot to offer, but you can only unearth it with patience, with love, and with care. Because if they don't trust you, you can't win them. And so, we want these children to be independent. We want them to contribute to their families, to their communities, and the society at large. And so we're preparing them for the working world. So at the License Center of Excellence, we are skill-based. There is room for improvement, and we welcome the hands to share so that we can care more. We offer theater arts. Yes, the children can do a little. We communication. We do math, but not the math you know of trigonometry. No, we are teaching them how to balance their books, so they know a lot of measurement and of course money. We offer to them home economics, food preparation, and a little clothing and textile. As you walk around our lovely campus, it's green vegetation. So we do a little bit of agriculture and we're able to give to our kitchen, and the children can get to take home. Of course at a cost, because we're teaching them that everything comes with a cost, because we need money to do other things. My students are interesting and we listen to them. One boy said to me, "Miss, me no want the way you do the school and I'm want to fill your block." And so I went out into the wider community and we're actually teaching our students how to lay blocks and they're enjoying it. In special, a lot of emphasis is placed on life skills. And life skills is taught in all the subject areas with extra emphasis coming from the guidance departments. So of course, License Center of Excellence is the place to be.
My classroom is a corporate space. I facilitate learning. My students learn from each other. They help each other during the learning process. Enabling them, I make certain that I encourage them that there's nothing that they cannot do. And the motivation that they get from being a part of my classroom, the fact that we differentiate learning too in there and tiered activities are used, it makes no child feel left out.
What I love about the License Center of Excellence, it's a level playing field. We exclude no one. So all activities, if it means you're to get assistance, be it from a classmate, a teacher, or from an ancillary worker, you're going to get the assistance because we believe in excellence. Excellence for all.
The 2019 staging of the Jamaica Visual Arts Competition and exhibition launch will take place at the Jamaica Conference Center in downtown Kingston on Sunday, November 24 from 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Art pieces will be judged in categories: painting, drawing, printmaking, collage, textiles and fiber arts, photography, and sculpture assemblage. Public voting for the Viewers Vote Prize will take place on Jamaica Cultural Development Commission's Facebook page between November 24, 2019 and January 31, 2020. The artwork with the most votes will receive a tablet and a trophy after the close of the show. Healthy Lifestyle Network's Shelton Project is hosting the 3rd annual Stand Up for Children End Child Sexual Abuse Weekend in Port Antonio from November 29 to December 1. On Friday, November 29, there will be a Royalty Sparkle Shine conference for girls at the Open Bible Church, Folly Road, Port Antonio from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Saturday, November 30, a health and awareness fair will be held at Neville Antonio Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturdays will also see a Stewards for Children training for adults to be held at the Portland Parish Library from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the weekend caps off on Sunday, December 1 with the Shelton Project Portland 5K Run Walk. The 5K will start at the Neville Antonio Park at 7 a.m. and ends at the Clock Tower in Port Antonio Square. And that's all for your community notices this Saturday. If you have an event to share on our notice board, give us a call at 876-922-8680 or email cbishop@gis.gov.jm.
We've come to the close of Jamaica Magazine for today. We hope you've been enlightened and ask that you do join us again tomorrow for more. Until then, continue to watch these and other programs by logging on to our website, gis.gov.jm, or subscribing to our YouTube channel. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.